Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a spectacular day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. As we continue to explore our own identity and we interact with other Black people from the diaspora, as it is called, there's something that we're going to have to be mindful of, and there's something that we're going to have to stop doing in an effort to try to share the trauma that we have faced through the slave system by losing our culture, our language, our homeland, our people, really. We have tried to share with others from the diaspora that particular kind of trauma. We have tried to share that, thinking that they would know, they would have the emotional and the intellectual and intelligence to process the information for what it is. It's a kind of trauma that Black Americans have felt and many continue to feel. But there's something that I'm going to have to ask Black Americans to stop doing. Stop sharing this trauma with Black immigrants. They do not have the emotional center or the intellectual ability to take that in. Some of them do. Many of them do. But since you don't know, you have to stop. Since you don't know who you can trust nobody. Because they are taking that information and trying to use it as a weapon against us to say, oh, well, I have something you don't have, so that means I'm better than you are. We had the experience of being brought here and given a whole new identity for a purpose that has not truly been revealed yet. But this was our journey, and this was where we are where we are supposed to be. And even though we did lose something on the back end, we have gained a lot on the front end. So we have to stop sharing our trauma with these Black immigrants, because they have their own kind of trauma, which is why they're here in the first place. Many of them are displaced from their homelands and from their people. Many of them have had family members destroyed. Many of them have lost everything they had. So we have to be mindful of their trauma too, but we also have to protect our own. But here in the United States, we're used to having Blackness to ourselves. We have our own legacy. We have our own agency. We have our own history, our own culture. We know enough about ourselves and our contributions here to know that this joint wouldn't be jumping if it weren't for Black Americans. So when other Blacks come here, we don't think about the fact that we have something that they don't have. This is our home. This is the only home that we know. And we have to accept that. We don't have a home anywhere else. Our ancestors had an ancestral home in Africa, but we do not. When we go to Africa, we're visitors. We don't have a place there. The only place that we really have is here. But we have so many issues with things that have happened in the past to us that we have a problem with that. We have a problem with our own homeland. And we want to share our trauma. We want to share our tragedy with people who look like us in hopes that they will understand. But we're coming to see that they don't. They don't understand. And they don't want to understand because they don't care. But everybody is jockeying and volleying for a position for themselves. And whatever they can do to get one step ahead, they're going to do it. And in an effort to try to make themselves feel superior or higher than Black Americans, they use whatever we tell them. They will take it and try to use it against us. So I'm going to make an appeal to Black Americans. Stop sharing our trauma with these Black immigrants, because we don't know who we can trust. Let's share our trauma with each other. Let's form a post-traumatic slave syndrome club where we can share our trauma amongst each other. We can have a tea or a prayer breakfast or just a regular club where we just say we're just going to talk about the trauma and then try to come up with solutions. But I beg of you, but my plea is to stop sharing this with these Black immigrants because they don't know what to do with the information. Now I'm going to show you a video and then you'll better see what I'm talking about.
If you could be any race other than the one you currently are, which would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. How can I be? I don't know how to be anything other than black. So,
What's one thing that you take pride in about being black?
well, my dad's Ethiopian. So, one thing that I do have that a lot of black Americans don't have is a sense of knowing where you come from. So, I do take pride in that.
This video came from the YouTuber Cindy Villa, and she, I think, is Nigerian. And she actually gets it. And she posted it on her channel. And I'll put a link to the video in the description box so you can go back and watch it for yourself. But the thing that she had on her mind about what she could be, she had no idea what she wanted to be. But what she took pride in was that she had something that black Americans didn't have. She knew where she came from. Now, we could tear that apart all we wanted to. We can tear all this stuff apart that these black immigrants are coming over here talking about knowing where they came from. We don't have to go into a thing where we're trying to humiliate people from Ethiopia or Jamaica. We could if we wanted to. If we wanted to play the dozens with them, we could get down. We could get down with the get down if we wanted to do it. But it doesn't accomplish anything. It doesn't accomplish anything for you to go and point out some things that you might know where you came from. But let's talk about where you came from. We could do that if we wanted to. But again, it doesn't accomplish anything. The best thing for us to do is to stop sharing this information, because we have thrown this all over the place. Oh, we don't know where we came from. We don't know our name. We don't know our tribe. We don't have anywhere to go. Well, we do have somewhere to go. You go back to South Carolina, or go back to Mississippi, or Alabama, or wherever your kinfolk came from, wherever y'all got land in the United States. That's where you came from. So that's what we're going to have to take a different approach. Now, this is my suggestion. People want to keep on telling them that. You can keep on telling them that. But you see what they're doing with the information. And it started with the Nigerians. And I said this in another video. But all of those Africans and Caribbeans are going to pick up on that as an indictment against you. You don't know where you came from. But I know where I came from. I know where I came from. Even if they came from Jamaica and Haiti and other places in the Caribbean, they think they originated in those places. They don't even know that they came from Africa too, in slave ships. So this is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who don't even know anything. And so, we could go back and talk about what Donald Trump said about where they came from. But we don't need to do that because that's mean. But they're going to take the information that you gave them and use it against you because they don't have anything else. They're not in their homeland. And what we're doing is we're dismissing all of the good things that we have done here. We're dismissing what we did here. We did what we were supposed to do. And that was to build a civilization. And we're dismissing all of that to whine and complain about we don't know where we came from. And so other people know where they came from and they don't want to live there. They still want to come here and benefit from what we did here. And this is why it's so important that we understand we built this civilization. We're comfortable here, but we built this. We helped put this infrastructure in place. All of it. Not only the economy, but all of these government buildings. And I keep saying this, and I'm going to say this as often as I need to. We put the whole infrastructure in place. We were here. When we came here, this country was nothing but open land, pretty much. Now, the indigenous people had their culture. But it's nothing like what it is now. We put this infrastructure in place. And then the electricity. We have electricity 24/7 all over this country. But guess what? The electric lights that we enjoy so much was invented by Lewis Latimer, an African American. The telecommunication systems that people enjoy all over the world were invented by African Americans, beginning with Lewis Latimer, Granville T. Woods, all the way up to Dr. Shirley Jackson and Jesse Eugene Russell. We have been at the forefront of everything that happens in this country, even small conveniences like the ironing board, the doorknob, the gas mask, the traffic signal, the GPS system. The home security system. The home security system was invented by a black woman. I could go on and on. We have been at the forefront of everything. So for the conveniences that we enjoy and that the world enjoys, many of them are made possible through the genius and ingenuity of black Americans. We are not freeloaders here. We are inventors and innovators and creators of a great society. We have been involved in everything here, and at some point we have to stop whining and complaining about what we don't have and be thankful for what we do have. And let's be really clear. This country is not about somebody coming here and going to school and getting a job and then going on national television thinking that they have some kind of agency because they work hard. This country was not about just working hard. This country was about slaving day and night from kin to king, sun up to sundown, building this economy, building this infrastructure, building this civilization. That's what this country is about. It is not about somebody coming in here on an airplane, going to school, and getting a job. That's fine. That is not what built this society. That is not what built the United States of America. Slave labor built the United States of America. Slave labor done by the ancestors of Black Americans. We cannot credit our ancestors enough. They gave us the agency. They gave us the legacy. And they gave us the voice that we must speak with when we speak, and we must speak with authority. So I think that, we need to rethink this. We need to rethink talking to these Black immigrants about our trauma. Now, if you have a really good friend from the Congo, or you have a really good friend from Ghana, somebody that you vetted and that you trust, and you think they would handle the information with care, then sure, you can talk to anybody. It's fine if that's what you want to do. But always speak from a position of strength. When speaking with Black immigrants about your homeland, I suggest you say something like, my ancestral home is Alabama, but my ancestors came from Africa and I don't know where they came from, but I'm from Alabama. It has to be good enough. And so let's just be careful about the information that we share with people who do not understand our plight, because they see the weakness in us when we do that. They don't see the strength, and there's a lot of strength. And so we play to our strength. We have to learn how to play to our strength, because nobody feels sorry for us because we're better off than they are. They just aren't going to say that. And the way we know we're better off than they are is because we can stay here and get along with the white people, really, whose ancestors had our ancestors enslaved, better than they can get along with the people where they came from. That's how come they're over here. Some of them will run out from over there. So, we just have... They used to say you just have to call a spade a spade. That's a spade. You can't even live in your homeland, although you know where you came from. You either can't live over there or you don't want to live there. So what good is that doing you to know where you came from? They don't have anything going. That's all they got. So that's what they're going to pull. And we are giving them a stick to crack our heads. And we need to stop doing it. When we complain about whatever it is that we feel like we missed, we sound weak. And when you are weak, you're in a position to be taken advantage of, to be exploited, or to be looked down on. And that's what a lot of Black Americans are saying. Oh, they think they're better than we are. But we're giving them that information. We're giving them information to make them feel like they are better than we are because they know where they came from. So stop giving them that information. I hope you understand what I'm saying. We have to learn to speak to our strengths. It doesn't do us any good to whine and cry, or try to cry on these other people's shoulders, because they don't have a shoulder strong enough to hold us. They really don't. So, okay. Let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a wonderful day.